Now, the second myth that people are going to try and drag you off course with, and gosh, everyone believes this one, is they'll tell you, look, if you want to grow, if you want to get ahead in life, if you want to get promoted, you can't rely on your strengths. In fact, you've got to figure out what you're not good at and really work at getting better at it. And this starts really early in school, doesn't it? You came back home with 2 A's, a C, and an F, and everyone, your parents, your teachers, they focused on the F, didn't they? You were really good at English and bad at maths, and you got remedial maths. And this continues at work. It will. You'll go to your first performance review, and it'll be 2 minutes on what you did well, and then they'll really drill down into what you need to work on. And what you'll need to work on are your weaknesses. If you're not careful, your whole career is going to be one long remedial math class. Now, the point here isn't that you can ignore your weaknesses at work. You can't do that any more than you can ignore the F in school. The point is that you shouldn't be working on your weaknesses. You're not going to grow most in the areas where you're weakest. You should be working on your strengths. That's one of the truths that's so important for you to remember. You're going to grow most, learn the most, develop the most, be challenged the most, bounce back fastest when you're working on your strengths. If you want to know a truth, know this one. Always be working on your strengths. If you want to succeed in life, you've got to deliberately push your time toward where you have some unfair advantage over everybody else. That means each week, you ought to have a strong, weak plan. Each week, you got to have a strong, weak plan. That's not complicated. That just means that each week you're going to have 2 things, just 2 things you're going to do each week to push your time toward your strengths and away from your weaknesses. Just 2 things you're going to do every week for the rest of your life. Think about the most successful people you know. Just for a minute, just think about the most effective people you know. Just get them in mind. Just visualize them. Don't they seem to spend an awful lot of time doing activities that really jazz them, that energize them? And you look at them and you go, you lucky devil. You lucky devil. How'd you find a job like that? How'd you find a life like that? How'd you find a job that fit you so perfectly? But of course, they didn't find it, did they? They built it. Each week, every week, they deliberately pushed their time toward those things that energized them and away from those that didn't. Each week, they pushed and pushed until gradually they tilted the floor until the best of their job became most of their job. Well, you should do the same. Each week, volunteer your strengths to your team in some way. Each week, show your team how your strengths can help the team achieve its goals. Each week, deliberately learn some new skill, some new technique, some new trick that will help you put your strengths to work. And then slowly, gradually, each week, you'll rewrite your job description under your boss's nose, and he'll or she'll love you for it. Because then you'll win.